Hi, I'm Robyn Hyden, the Executive Director of Alabama Arise. The 2022 legislative session wrapped up Friday night at midnight. I'm now going to attempt to summarize everything that happened in 5 minutes, so here we go. Earlier this year, there was a special session to address $772 million in American Rescue Plan Act funding. Unlike the last special session last year, we were pleased for the most part that these funds went to address critical needs facing our state related to COVID and healthcare, broadband, and rural infrastructure. But the key here will be to make sure that those funds are implemented fairly and that they go to our most vulnerable neighbors. So we will keep an eye on that. We got into the session. The Education Trust Fund budget came out, one of the biggest we've ever seen. It included a significant teacher pay raise. This is great news for pay equity as well as for teacher retention and recruitment. On the general fund budget side, more good news. Resources for mental health and child care quality improvement were increased. There was also funding in Medicaid to extend postpartum coverage up to 1 year for new parents. Huge news for Medicaid members and those families to improve their health outcomes, reduce maternal mortality. But overall, we know that eventually we would like for all parents to have access to health care 100% of the time. So we would still like to expand Medicaid. We're going to celebrate that 1 year postpartum extension as a win for families. On the tax reform side, we saw good news with a small but significant tax break for low to moderate income taxpayers. By raising the standard deduction, this bill that passed would give a lot of families about a $50 a year income tax cut. On the criminal justice reform side, more good news. A bill passed to extend a 6-month grace period to formerly incarcerated people to get back out into the world before they have to start repaying their fines and fees. There was a bill to increase transparency around municipal fines and fees by creating a database of those fees, and another bill to limit how much cities and municipalities can levy in fines and fees. Finally, a bill to stop the shackling of pregnant people behind bars passed. I want to emphasize how much work goes into passing each and every one of these policies. Some of these have taken years of work and advocacy, support from grassroots advocates and directly impacted people. So if you're one of the people who spoke out, called, emailed, talked to your legislators about these issues, I want to say thank you. Every phone call, every conversation helped. Every year, thousands of bills are introduced and only a few hundred actually end up passing and getting enacted into law. So this is a big deal that we had so many big wins for our priority issues. We also stopped some bad bills that were attacking some of our biggest priorities. On voting rights, bills limiting our access to the polls, we were able to stop a lot of those. There were bills limiting free speech in classrooms about racial oppression, or those CRT bills. You helped speak out against those. A bill criminalizing protest is now dead, and a bill to make it harder to get SNAP benefits. You all helped speak out against those. These were coalition efforts with many other organizations and partners. But again, I want to say thank you for your support to stop those bills. Unfortunately, there were some bad bills that made it through. One bill to increase the red tape and reporting required to keep your unemployment insurance benefits. Really unfortunate to see that pass. A bill to increase the tax breaks for people who contribute money to private school scholarships and ultimately hurts our public education funding was passed. It was also really discouraging to see bills dehumanizing and attacking our LGBTQ friends, family, and neighbors and trans kids' access to health care. And unfortunately, there were just big missed opportunities for very popular issues, like a driver's license bill that we've supported for many years that's with partners failed to pass through the final chamber. That bill would have increased people's access to driver's licenses for non-moving violations, not having punitive loss of licenses for inability to pay fines and fees. Our bills to untax groceries also failed to advance despite having broad public support and bipartisan leadership. Really excited that we have more opportunities to continue to advance our priorities throughout the rest of the year. So we do expect another special session coming, maybe as early as August, to address the American Rescue Plan, $1 billion remaining. If you haven't yet, check out our ARPA toolkit at alarise.org to find ways that you can speak out to get those funds to our critical needs at the state and local level. They are having elections, so your legislators will be asking you for your vote, statewide elected leaders and the governor. You need to ask them what they have done for you on these priorities. Lastly, we'll have an opportunity to vote on a statewide constitutional amendment to once and for all remove racist language from our Constitution this November. Said a lot in 5 minutes, still didn't scratch the surface, so I just want to encourage you, if you haven't yet, sign up at alarise.org for our email updates, find policy priorities and ways you can speak out on any of these issues. Thank you so much for your support, your advocacy, your engagement, and your leadership. I hope you have a great day.